Hi, Janelle here, Thought Healer. I am just so excited to tell you about a conversation I had with one of my clients a couple days ago. So today's Monday, so it was probably 3 days ago. Never mind. It was so cool. Why? Because I love seeing people have breakthroughs. And it was also just a beautiful example on how our emotional well-being and the different emotional triggers that we store in our body, how that can present itself in our health and our eating habits, for example, in this case. So this gentleman, he had just started eating and craving cereal. So let's just say cravings, but his was cereal. And he was eating it for breakfast. He would have it for lunch, and sometimes he would have it for dinner. And intellectually, he's like, I know that this is really, really bad for me, health wise. And you start getting imbalanced, of course, but he's also sensitive to white flours and things like that. They cause inflammation for him in his digestion. And knowing this, and then that gives him, brain fog, and he struggles getting, mental clarity and making decisions, and he gets more emotional. And so he's having this package, and he's just like, seriously, what is wrong with me? And I'm like, well, it could be all this sugar and refined flour. And he's going, I know, but and I'm kind of, so I start feeling into it intuitively. I'm like, okay, there's a thing here. Intellectually, he knows. And now he has guilt because he knows he's sabotaging himself, but he's still doing it. He's still having this massive craving. So it could be for you a sugar craving. It could be, I need to go just get back on my computer, on a video game or on Facebook again. Some sort of thing that's pulling you out, and that it's not what you should be doing. And this guy, he's going, as this client, he's like, yeah, I just know better. I know I'm self-sabotaging, but the drive is very, very strong. And so we start getting curious, and I've worked with this gentleman for a while, so I know his backstory. We've had several really in-depth conversations about his childhood and things like that, because he's been growing with me and healing with me for about a year and just making incredible progress. So I've got this backstory. So I know, I'm like, you've experienced a lot of change lately. In the last 4 months, 3 months, you've experienced some significant change. So there was a big move, there was a new job, and then he got really sick. And that bug attacked his digestion. And so that is your root for foundation and feeling secure in who you are. And that got really disrupted. And I said, okay, look at that package. Change. You are not grounding. You are not your root chakra. Because remember, we're a body, we're a mind, and we're emotion in an energetic package. Okay. And so our chakra system and our physical system work hand in hand, and he was not grounding. And so all that energy, that physical energy, one, and his energy and his emotional energy, two, weren't going to ground. And so he was getting this feedback, if you will, overwhelming his central nervous system, along with an inflamed digestion. And it's, I don't know, wonder you're experiencing all these, overwhelming emotional feelings, and then triggers into more cravings for this cereal. So you're experiencing change. Now what? What do we do about it? Well, where's this? So why is change so hard for you? And he goes, because I've had a lot of change. So he was adopted as a baby, and then just a sequence of very disturbing, if you will, events in his traumatic, let's use it that way, traumatic events in his early childhood. And his parents, there was a lot of turmoil in the household. And so to self-soothe, he goes, well, and to take care of himself, he says, I can make cereal. So when things got crazy, he goes, I can make cereal and take care of myself. I can make cereal. And I'm like, okay, what's at the root of this? Is it really about cereal? It's about change, which triggered the emotion and the pattern memory that he stored in his body, that of being uprooted. So now his body's not grounding. And how did I deal back in the day when this emotion would hit me or this feeling would hit me, it was, I can take care of myself with cereal. So I know it was so cool to find that line to really what's at the root. And when we can heal at the root, well, guess what? Cereal's not our problem. We can chase and train and educate all we want on why we shouldn't eat this way or whatever. And all that does is bring guilt into our space. I mean, education's good, don't get me wrong. But if we just stay with that, I'm like, I know better. And then there's guilt. And then that just adds more negative emotion to this pattern that's happening. So what am I going to want more of? I'm going to want more cereal. But getting down to the root of it and letting that heal, now things change. So I let him through a meditation and we released. And I was just guided. What did his body need us to do? He stored some memory in his organs and how his organs were working and his soft tissue. And we just let that go. And we did this healing meditation, opened up, balanced his body again, balanced those chakras, grounded him good, charged that system up. And guess what he doesn't want? He doesn't want sugar. He doesn't want cereal. He's like, hi. And just like it is gone. It was instantly gone. So the power, the exciting thing is for him, it's shifted on many things. So the symptom of not wanting cereal, there you go. But how many more other places was that feeling influencing? I'm sure lots. And as this week unfolds, he will see those. How that energy of the old change, how change was so hard and how he processed that, and how was that affecting his world around him. As that heals, the things around him, or they'll see some changes as well. So heal the root and the symptom will cease to exist. That's how we get quantum leaps. And that's how our emotional self is direct, or can be directly connected to our eating patterns and our physical health.